wanted to do this video in honor of Black History Month and to keep the messages of our founding fathers alive. And when I say founding fathers, I'm referring to the founding fathers of Black liberation and Black freedom. One of the greatest leaders to ever walk the face of this country is Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey is a man of courage. He's a man of integrity. He's a man of pride. He was a visionary. He believed that Africans across the world should unite. And if anybody was to hinder the liberation of any African people, that they would come together and they would fight. That they would come together and they would unite. Now that was powerful. But people often distort Marcus Garvey's message by saying, oh, he just wanted us to go back to Africa. No, he didn't just want us to go back to Africa. He wanted unity. He wanted Black nationalism. He believed that if we were to sustain ourselves, if we can get our own economy, our own businesses, our own hospitals, our own education, our own buildings, our own land, we would be better off. Because no one is going to treat us better than ourselves. And if you continue to wait for the oppressor to give you your education, to give you your health care, to give you your liberation, you're going to wait a long time. And it was a powerful, powerful message. And the UNIA, which was the organization that he founded, had its own army. Imagine that, a Black army. They had their own flag. That's powerful. Now that was so powerful that it was a national security threat to America. That the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, wanted to dismantle this organization. Marcus Garvey was under surveillance. His businesses were being trampled with. They wanted to put him in prison. They wanted to find any loophole they can to just put him in prison because they knew that he had done something that was great. They knew that he was about to create a Black America. All right? And they didn't want that. The FBI didn't want that. J. Edgar Hoover didn't want that. And so, inevitably, unfortunately, Marcus Garvey was imprisoned for mail fraud, and he was taken back to Jamaica, and the organization was dismantled. And it led to the demise of the UNIA. However, the message of the UNIA stayed alive. And the message of Black nationalism and Black power was descended to the Nation of Islam, was descended to the Black Panthers. Now, the Nation of Islam was rooted on religion, but don't get it twisted. The message is based off of Marcus Garvey. The Black Panthers was founded due to police brutality, but the message, the 10-point plan, was all based off of Marcus Garvey's message. All right? So there's a commonality here. And the commonality is Black power. The commonality is Black nationalism. I mean, Malcolm X, one of the most prominent speakers for the Nation of Islam, his parents were Garveyites. So Malcolm X was exposed to Marcus Garvey's message as a young boy. All right? So this message of Black nationalism, this powerful message, did stay alive, but not for too long. I mean, the Nation of Islam was also dismantled by the FBI. The Black Panthers was being dismantled by the FBI. The FBI knew who they wanted to hinder. They knew who was the true threat to the American way. But the message that stayed alive and stuck with us today is the message of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King was a great leader. He was a charismatic, he was brave, he spoke, people listened. And he preached in all his speeches. In almost every speech, actually, he always said non-violent. He always said that we must integrate, and we can integrate, and we can fight for our rights, and we will make America great. We will enter this society peacefully. Now, Dr. King was contested, very contested. Malcolm X, in fact, contested Dr. King. Stokely Carmichael criticized Dr. King, and partly because he limited himself. Dr. King said, yes, we will just reform America. But what about Marcus Garvey's message? What about Malcolm's message? What about the message that America feared, that America was put on the ropes for? What happened to that message? See, he only wanted to reform, which is great. Let's make it great. But we always have to keep the door open for that other option. That option which is by any means necessary. And that is Malcolm's words, by any means necessary. That we will gain our liberation no matter what. We'll work with you. We'll try to make it better. But if you don't give us our liberation, we will not continue to work with you. We will build our own. Now, that's why Dr. King's message was so favored by the United States. Dr. King's message was loved by the United States. They wanted him everywhere. They wanted him to speak everywhere because he was preaching nonviolence. He was preaching that we would just reform, or hopefully reform. And America knew that's what they wanted. They wanted his message, and they wanted to dismiss Malcolm's message. They wanted to dismiss Stokely Carmichael's message. They wanted to dismiss the Black Panthers. They wanted Dr. King to be in the forefront. Right? That's why we have a national holiday for Dr. King. You think America is going to celebrate a black man? Dr. King is the only black man to have a national holiday. Right? That's because they wanted to keep his message alive. Not Malcolm's message, not Marcus Garvey's message, but Dr. King's message, the one which is reforming America. Now, Dr. King, before he was assassinated, he told Harry Belafonte that he has integrated his people in the depths of hell. And he knew. And, maybe when he knew, unfortunately, it was too late. He knew. And so we have to understand that this message of black nationalism, of black power, was intentionally tried to be deleted from our history. Let's keep this message alive. Feel free to comment. Let's get a discussion going. But please do not challenge this message. If you challenge this message, you are challenging the advancement of black people. You are challenging the message of Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X and Huey Newton. You are the oppressor if you challenge this message. Now, what you can do is critique. You can critique. You can put your input. You can create a framework for discussion. But you cannot challenge. Do not challenge this message. All all right, and save the negativity and save all the negative energy. This is positivity. If it is not to help black bodies, I don't want to see it in the comments, please. But yeah, let's keep this message alive. Thank you for listening.
To meet before with the might of the red, the black and the green, with the might of the red, the black and the green. O Jehovah, thou God of the ages, grant unto our sons that need the wisdom thou gave to thy sages when Israel was sore in need. Thy voice to the dim past has spoken, Ethiopia shall stretch forth her hand. By thee shall all fetters be broken, and heaven bless our dear motherland. Advance, advance to victory, let us